Hello everyone. So today we are going to start with a new chapter, that is turbulent flow. Before starting with that exact chapter, we are going to see or revise what is boundary layer or boundary layer theory. We have already covered that in the fourth chapter, but I need to revise it so that I can explain what is the smooth boundary and the rough boundary. Okay, so turbulent flow is the chapter name, chapter 5, sorry, chapter 6, and we are going to study boundary or revise boundary layer theory. Okay, so I'll be making a diagrammatic representation of boundary layer theory. So just consider an existing flow like this in yellow color or fluorescent yellow color. I'll just show you a bigger portion so that we can understand that very easily. So this is a existing flow in direction left to right with velocity capital U, maximum velocity capital U. Now this flow is happening for a certain period, and then suddenly you start or you insert or introduce a parallel plate horizontal plate in the flow. Okay, so initially when this horizontal plate was not present, the flow was moving in forward direction. As you introduced this horizontal plate into the flow, what happened? The flow at this point hit the top corner of the plate. The flow at this point hit the top corner of the plate, and as this plate was not moving, this flow stopped and its velocity became zero. Okay, similarly the next stream of flow hit this plate at this point, and it also started retarding. It lost its velocity and it also started retarding. Okay, similarly the other layers. Okay, like this, the layers, the initial layer 1 hit the top corner of the horizontal plate and it stopped, its velocity became 0. The next layer 2, it was moving along the layer 1, and as this layer was, the layer number 1 stopped here, and the layer number 2, as it reached near the horizontal plate, it came into the vicinity of this non-moving or unmoving layer number 1, and therefore the velocity 0 was imparted to the layer number 2. The momentum which was 0 for layer number 1, because its velocity was 0, that momentum was imparted to the layer number 2, and therefore it also started retarding. It did not completely stop moving, but its velocity became very low. Okay, similarly for the layer number 3, as it came near the plate, it was in the contact with the layer number 2, which had a very low velocity. So obviously it had a very low momentum. The layer number 2 had a very low momentum, and that momentum was imparted to the layer number 3, and therefore its velocity became, it lowered, but it was higher than that for the layer number 2. Okay, similarly for the layer number 4, again when it came near the horizontal plate, it was in contact with the layer number 3, whose velocity was also low but higher than layer number 2 velocity. So the momentum of the layer number 3 was imparted to the layer number 4. Okay, likewise the low lying layers of the flow imparted their momentum to the upward flowing layers of the flow, and therefore the velocity profile could be seen like this. So not this boundary layer, sorry, not velocity profile, but the boundary layer could be seen. It is actually a curve like this. Okay, so beyond this layer the velocity was very low. Up to this curve the velocity of the flow was u, capital U, but beyond this boundary layer the velocity reduced. Okay, the velocity reduced. After this point, what happened? This flow, the boundary layer lost its pressure. After moving from the first edge of the horizontal plate to certain distance in a horizontal direction, the boundary layer lost its strength or pressure, and therefore the actual flow, which was more forceful, it started entering the, it tried to intrude into the boundary layer, it tried to enter into the boundary layer, and therefore this boundary layer started fluctuating. Why did that happen? Because at this point initial or the first edge of the plate, the velocity was completely zero, and therefore why it was zero? It was in contact with the non-moving or immobile horizontal plate, and therefore the velocity was zero, and therefore pressure was very high at the surface of the plate. As the velocity went on increasing from the bottom to the top, the pressure started decreasing. Okay, and as the pressure decreased of the boundary layer, this flow started entering or intruding into the boundary layer, and therefore it fluctuated the boundary layer. After some time, this flow actually entered, because further as we moved horizontally towards the horizontally in the x direction, this flow, the boundary layer pressure decreased a lot, and the velocity increased a lot, and therefore this flow actually entered into the or intruded into the boundary layer, and the boundary layer took a shape of this curve. Okay, so what do you mean the boundary layer? Boundary layer is that layer where there is a velocity profile, and within the boundary layer the velocity profile looks like this. If you take a section, horizontal section like this, the velocity profile will look like this, and it will go on varying from the surface of the horizontal plate up to the boundary layer, such that at the boundary layer the velocity is equal to 0.99 times the maximum velocity u, or 99% of u. Beyond that, the flow velocity will be equal to u. The flow of the fluid in boundary layer will be equal to the flow of the actual flow happening beyond the boundary layer. Okay, so that is the basic concept of boundary layer theory, that within the boundary layer the velocity varies from 0 to 99% of the maximum velocity which is actually happening. Okay, now further what happens, this curve where the boundary layer pressure is very high and it is not being disturbed by the outer flow is called as laminar boundary layer. Now this part of boundary layer where the boundary layer has fluctuated, it is called as transitional boundary layer. And further beyond the transitional boundary layer where there is intrusion of the flow and it causes turbulence in this area, this is called as turbulent, and very high increase of velocity takes place, turbulent boundary layer. Okay, so this is the classification of boundary layer based on the velocity present in that area. Now further what happens, although this is a turbulent boundary layer, that doesn't mean there is no low velocity in this area. Again, near the surface of the horizontal plate, as it is not moving, it will impart friction to the flow and it will impart zero velocity to the flow, and therefore there will be a layer in this turbulent boundary layer region or area where the velocity will be very low, as it is in this laminar boundary layer area, and this is called as laminar sub layer. Okay, and its height is given as delta dash. Okay, now this will help you in understanding what is a rough boundary and smooth boundary in turbulent flow. Okay, so now consider this part only. Here, if this is the surface of a pipe or parallel plate above which turbulent flow is happening, and there is a existence of laminar sublayer because of the pipe surface or parallel plate surface. So in this case there will be some undulations or ups and downs or roughness in the pipe surface material or plate surface material. So we can indicate them as like this. Okay, and let the height of these undulations or irregularities in the pipe surface be is equal to K. Irregularity height of irregularities B is equal to K. So if the average height of irregularities is equal to K is less than your laminar sublayer height, then the boundary is called as smooth. Okay, and if your K is greater than the delta dash, that is the average height of irregularities is greater than your laminar sublayer height, then this boundary is called as rough boundary. Okay, so that is the classification of the boundaries as per the height or average height of the irregularities. Okay, so if the height of this, if the boundary is smooth and if you increase the velocity in that area, then this boundary will become rough. Why? Because as the velocity will increase, the pressure of the sublaminar layer will decrease and the high velocity flow will try to intrude into the irregularities, and that will convert the smooth boundary into rough boundary. Okay, now we will see the exact classification of boundary, smooth boundary and rough boundary. So if your K upon delta dash is less than 0.25, it is smooth boundary. If K upon delta dash is greater than 6.0, it is rough boundary. If K upon delta dash is greater than 0.25 and less than 6.0, it is boundary in transition. Okay, now U into K upon viscosity is indicated as roughness Reynolds number. Okay, so in terms of this roughness Reynolds number, we are going to classify the boundary. If U into K upon viscosity is less than 4, it is rough boundary. If U into K upon viscosity is greater than 100, it is this is smooth boundary. This is rough boundary if it is greater than 100, and if it is between 4 and 100, it is boundary in transition. Okay, so this is the classification of your rough and smooth boundaries. Okay, so after this we will see some derivations in turbulent flow.